Welcome back to the legend of PikVille Heavy Industries. We are proud to say that this episode is brought to you by StatHeads Anonymous. Hey Tempe, it's Pickfire. Listen, we've all been there. You drafted a kicker in the 6th round. You benched the guy who dropped 42. You traded away a superstar for vibes. But here's the good news. At StatHeads Anonymous, your terrible fantasy decisions can actually do some good. Every bad pick, blown trade, or catastrophic lineup choice becomes a donation to real Tempe charities. You lose your matchup, but Tempe wins big. Join the movement at StatHeads Anonymous, turning bad decisions into good outcomes. And hey, maybe this year, don't draft a kicker early. Just saying. This one is going to be a break from the normal legend episode, as it is an idea that I think deserves consideration to make that jump from what some people claim is a work of fiction to what some people claim is reality. That is, of course, StatHeads Anonymous. To me, the opportunity of generating funds for my local area charities by tying my love of fantasy football and my love of local sports bars into reality is a no-brainer. Let's quickly look at our history. The Legends Football League has been in existence since 1987. Really. I ran the league for much of the early era, so it would stand to figure that I have probably annoyed more people with fantasy speak than anyone not on TV named Matthew Berry. As a man with a conscience, I have felt the need to compensate for this flaw in my character. Not enough to quit, but you get the point. I also have been involved to one degree or another with the Tempe High School Buffalo Foundation for many years. Proudly, by the way. I helped the fine people on the board to build a large community of alumni, staff, and faculty, past and present. What do these things have in common? The great thing about fantasy football in the pre-internet days was that you had to get together for the draft and at least again at the end of the year. Your league was a small community. I like building communities, and I want to build more of them. Fantasy sports are nearly all done online nowadays, and many people will never know their opponent from Adam or Eve. Likewise, people are less likely to go out and watch a game at a local watering hole, because they don't have any friends that want to, quote, hear you blather on about your danged fantasy team, but a place to commiserate with like-minded loons and maybe do some kind of penance for wasting so much time on it in the first place. Sounds pretty good. Would a bar manager like an engaged audience for football games on weekends? I believe so. Is there a way that we can build even more community with business to charity connectivity and potentially a business challenge aspect? I believe it can be done, and to everyone's benefit. The original thought of StatHeads Anonymous was as a business that does interventions, force people away from the addiction to fantasy sports. After telling my associate, Gustav, the name of my idea, his first thought was the charity aspect. Figuring rightly, I believe that most people will pay to feel better about a bad decision long before deciding to quit making the same bad decisions. That enlightenment into the human condition taken into account gave us idea number 2. A call-in phone line so they could fess up for a nominal fee to any of the numerous horrible decisions that a typical owner will make during the season. The phone call to a helpline doesn't build community, though. So here's my pitch to y'all. There are many options from basic to big. We're looking for opinions from all points of view. Unless you're a teetotaling, sports-hating hermit, then keep it to yourself. Option 1. Concept is a bar run. A casual recurring meetup, sort of like AA, where people share their fantasy sports decisions and donate a few bucks to local causes. Key features: monthly or bi-weekly meetup, story sharing, laughs, and light accountability. Monetary donations per statistical catastrophe or per week. Funds go directly to Tempe charities, no paperwork needed. A chalkboard leaderboard of worst decisions of the week. A Shrine to Sports donation box for cash donations and the info on how they can donate online. You can also receive your penance cards if the bar chooses. Optional guest appearances from local bartenders, regulars, Tempe High alums, whoever has something to say. Comics would be a good choice, but anybody know anybody funny? Why it works. 0 startup cost. Builds community around humor and shared pain. Easy to maintain. Ideal for a soft launch, word of mouth growth. Concept 2. Stretched out and social. A Tempe-wide, lightly organized club with a social media presence, a simple donation model, and occasional meetups. Key features: Instagram, Facebook page for weekly posts. Worst Trade Wednesday. Lineup catastrophe a month, etc. Members pledge small donations for bad fantasy decisions. Partnerships with local bars, rec leagues, and Tempe nonprofits. Weekly live events. Rotating locations. A simple digital membership card or sticker. Why it works. Builds a recognizable local identity. Creates a community with humor and civic pride. Still low cost, low pressure, and fun. Ideal for a real-world presence that feels like a Tempe institution without requiring heavy infrastructure. Here are some other ideas the crack staff at PHI has developed so far. StatHeads Anonymous, the Bar vs. Bar Community Challenge. A Tempe-born competition that boosts business, builds community, and raises money for local causes. This works because it hits 3 incentives at once. Bars want regulars, regulars want bragging rights, charities want donations. And StatHeads Anonymous gives all 3 a way to win. Why this is viable. Bars already compete, unofficially. They all have their own crowds, their own identities, their own regulars. A friendly competition gives them something to rally around. 2. Fantasy sports is huge. Every bar has fantasy football players, fantasy baseball players, bracket people, degenerates who bet on Korean baseball at 3 a.m. You're not creating a new behavior, you're giving them a venue. 3. It's low cost, high fun, and charity positive. Bars don't have to spend money. They just host the scoreboard and encourage participation. 4. It builds community inside the bar. Regulars love having their bar compete against that bar. This is Tempe. People will absolutely show up for bragging rights. How it would work, simple version. Each bar has a StatHeads Anonymous digital or manual scoreboard. Every time a patron makes a fantasy sports blunder, they log it. Benched a 40-point running back. Dropped a guy who scored twice. Drafted a kicker in round 3. Each week that they log mistakes equals $1 or $5 or more donation to a local charity. Bars compete monthly. At the end of the month, most donations equals StatHeads Champion Bar. Worst individual decision equals Golden Bench Award. Best Redemption Arc equals Comeback Kid Award. And as part of our meetups, the StatHeads Confession Booth. Bar-friendly, safe, and funny. The core idea: a small booth or corner at the bar where patrons confess their worst fantasy sports decisions and draw a random, goofy, non-dangerous penance card. They pay a couple bucks, money goes to charity, everyone laughs, the bar gets a crowd. Examples of safe, fun penance cards. Here are some that hit the vibe without causing harm. Go outside and throw 2 imaginary Hail Marys. Narrate each one dramatically. Approach the jukebox and apologize to it for your lineup decisions. Order a water and toast to better choices ahead. Tell the bartender, I benched greatness today. They'll know what to do. Stand up, stretch, and say, I will not draft a kicker early ever again. Give someone a compliment about their hat, even if they're not wearing one. Take a deep breath and say, I released my attachment to projections. Write your worst decision on a napkin and ceremonially crumple it. High-five a stranger and say, for the good of Tempe. This is a funny, harmless, and totally bar-safe game, and I'm sure that y'all know of others that could be made to work. The idea behind all of this is to help the greater community at large, of course, and I hope that something as silly as this can help people to have fun helping others while drinking in public where they belong. Let's pull the plug on this, whatever it was, and start thinking of ways to make this happen. Stay heavy, man.